Success without integrity amounts to failure. Chapter 11. Integrity, a way of life. Integrity involves upholding a personal moral code no matter what the consequence. Integrity means that we are uncorrupted and authentic. People with integrity are not different things to different people. Their actions and words match. If we have a medical sickness and we go to the hospital, the doctors might have a disagreement on why we seem sick, but they are totally in agreement on what a healthy body looks like. The doctor might mistakenly send us with one limb less, but he will not send us with one additional limb. Integrity matters. It impacts every area of our lives. It impacts all our relationships. Our friends are our friends because we trust each other. They cease to be our friends when the trust is gone missing. The trust factor gets dismantled the moment integrity is lost. Values are priceless. Integrity does not change with the amount involved. We had a client enrolled into our leadership program who had to transfer approximately rupees 79,000 to us. By mistake, rupees 11 million was credited to our account. Our accountant took notice of this in the morning. After checking the balance, he came to my room and said in a light tone, "We have become rich." I asked, "How come?" He said, "One of our clients has sent us excess money by mistake to the tune of rupees 11 million. I have double checked the amounts and there is no confusion. It's a mistake on their part." He asked me what we should do with this money. "Why are you asking me?" I questioned. "Doesn't he know what is to be done with the money?" I asked him, "What if I was traveling and not reachable? What should be done?" He said, "We should double check the accuracy of the transaction, make sure we are not making a mistake, otherwise that would become a bigger problem. We should inform the client and then instruct the bank to have the transaction reversed." We informed the client in Muscat, who worked at a 2-hour time difference, about the incident, and when they heard about it, there was panic at their end. We started getting calls frantically. Our business head asked them, "Why are you so frantic?" "First of all, we are the ones who have informed you. You are not even aware of it. And secondly, we need a couple of hours to give written instructions to our bank." After the transaction got reversed, we asked them, "Why were you so frantic?" They said, "In this part of the world, the legal system doesn't work. In fact, nothing works. We were concerned if we will ever get the money. And if we do get it, when will we get it? You could hold it for years since the legal system doesn't work. Besides, the amount involved was on the higher side." We told them that our programs are based on integrity and we make it a point to practice it in our office too. We have learnt one thing: integrity does not change with the amount involved. If it changes with the amount involved, it means we have no integrity. Our price is different. It amounts to superficial integrity, which is up for sale if the price is right. On the lighter side, our business head mentioned to them that we may be stupid sometimes, but we are not dishonest. We got a reply from them that read as, "We wish to acknowledge we have received back the excess amount mistakenly transferred by our bankers to your bank account. And thank you and the entire Shiv Khera team for the prompt action. We would once again like to place on record our sincere thanks on your prompt action. Regards, Shekhar Subramaniam, Manager, Finance and Systems, A1 Hasher Pharmacy LLC, Muscat, omen. Ethics. It's a myth that people in the business world say we have to get real and it is the numbers and the profit that matters. Integrity does not come into play. That's really not true. Ethical businessmen who value their credibility make decisions every day based on integrity. They cannot do business with people they cannot trust. After the 9/11 incident, the stock market crashed. However, in 2002, it recovered. But some major corporates like Enron and WorldCom went out of business only because of unethical reasons. In fact, because of some major corporate failures due to unethical reasons, the stock market crashed again, and this time even more than during the terrorist attack. What does that tell us? That the market feared unethical behavior much more than terrorist attacks. Moral collapse is a greater danger than a terrorist attack. When morality collapses, men decay. The question of integrity has become fundamental to all professions. When we ask, why does integrity matter? Then we need to also ask, what would happen when integrity fails? All relationships will fade away or die out. The basis of every relationship is trust. All relationships are ethically and morally governed. Can I trust you? Becomes the most important question. Trust is the starting point. We keep asking ourselves, who can we trust? What can we trust? Integrity is more doing what's right than knowing what's right. We need to program ourselves for doing the right things, no matter what. People with integrity have their loyalties clearly defined. They are not divided. When a person's values and actions do not match, it amounts to hypocritical behavior. Our integrity reveals our character. It reveals who we are. The integrity of a person is not measured by his status or profession, but by his conduct. It demands a clear-cut distinction between right and wrong. It requires moral courage in the pursuit of an ideal. Integrity combined with enthusiasm and determination makes for honorable living. An upright person can never be a downright failure no matter what he does. Good leaders believe strongly in making integrity a way of life. Abraham Lincoln was a very successful practicing attorney. Once someone asked him to take up a case. After listening to the facts, Lincoln said, "I understand your case. It's technically strong, but ethically weak. I cannot accept your case." Now the man said, "I am willing to pay your fees." Lincoln said, "Fees is not the problem. The problem is that knowing the facts that I do, while I am arguing it in front of the judge, all the time at the back of my mind, I'll keep saying to myself, 'Lincoln, you are a liar. Lincoln, you are a liar.' I will not be able to live with myself." I interpret Lincoln's behavior as, I sell my professional time, but not my conscience. My take home is, we sell products and services. We sell our professional time, but we do not sell our conscience. Integrity fosters a feeling of security and confidence. A pillow of clear conscience affords the soundest sleep and comes from a life lived with integrity. When a person tries to get out of a difficult situation through dishonest or unjust means, he really multiplies his problem till he reaches a point of no return. On matters of integrity, remaining silent is a sign of weakness and cowardice. More lies have been told by remaining silent when we should have spoken. Silence and integrity are two different things. Just because a person is silent does not mean that he has integrity. Weak people can never be sincere, and cowards can never practice morality. What is the difference between integrity and honesty? Integrity means having strong moral principles. It is reflected in character, morality, virtues, fairness, ethics, and how upright and honorable one is. Honesty is sincerity, truthfulness, and freedom from deceit or fraud. Can a person be honest and yet have no integrity? Integrity is a value system, whereas honesty or dishonesty is a habit. People who constantly practice telling the truth get caught the first time they tell a lie. Reverse it. People who constantly tell lies get caught the first time they tell the truth. Can a person be honest and not have integrity? The answer is yes. For example, a teacher once asked a student, "Son, if you found a wallet with a large sum of money, what would you do?" The student replied, "If no one was watching me, I would keep it." The teacher said, "Son, you are honest, but you lack integrity." The student just demonstrated honesty by admitting to the teacher what he would do. But the choice of keeping the wallet that did not belong to him showed lack of integrity. Can the reverse be true as well? Could one not be honest and yet maintain integrity? Sometimes, when racial riots break out, mobs come looking for innocent people to kill. If we give shelter to an innocent person and lie to the mob, that's being dishonest in words, but shows integrity in action. Would we rather be honest and have an innocent person killed? Is that integrity? Supposing I am on my way to addressing a conference with a few hundred people and I run into Osama bin Laden in the lobby. Osama asks me, "I have some extra RDX with me and I would like to blow up a few hundred people. I believe you're having a conference around here. Can you tell me where is it?" Now, should I tell him the truth? Obviously not. Caution. Undoubtedly, the above is an extreme case. What chance is there ever for me to meet Osama bin Laden? None. Lying while maintaining integrity is a rare phenomenon. It does not happen every day. There are some people who are chronic liars and they justify their dishonest behavior by saying, "I am being diplomatic." Maintain and sustain integrity. Ancient wisdom says, anything that is bought or sold has no value unless it contains the secret and the priceless ingredient which cannot be traded. What is it? It is the credibility, the honor, and the integrity of the one who makes it. It is not such a secret, but it is priceless. The final product reflects the integrity of the person who has put his heart and soul into making it. Let's look at another example of lack of integrity. Three executives were fighting over who would pay the bill for lunch. One said, "I will pay. I can get a tax deduction." The other said, "Let me have it. I will get reimbursement from my company." The third said, "Let me pay because I am filing for bankruptcy next week." Integrity demands that we should have the courage to say no to deceit, to face the truth, to do the right thing because it is right. Integrity and values. Honesty and dishonesty are both learnt traits. Honesty and dishonesty are neither the domain of the prosperous nor the poor. Either could be honest or dishonest. People with low self-esteem have no problems in compromising their values for ulterior motives. People with integrity are driven more by the desire to do the right thing than by the desire not to get caught. Genuine honesty does not look for concealment or camouflage. People who lack integrity believe honesty restricts them. In fact, it's the opposite. Honesty actually frees people from the fear of getting caught. It helps create an environment of trust. Practice integrity and honesty. A person with high self-esteem would prefer not to transact anything in any relationship by telling lies. Why? Because to him, his credibility is more important than the transaction. He will not put a price tag on his credibility. Validation of integrity should happen from within. Enforced integrity is no integrity. Trying to rationalize the wrong. Some people think it is really not considered stealing if the theft goes unnoticed, or if the other person has a surplus of something. Taking things that don't belong to us without permission, even with the intention of replacing them before being found out, is stealing. Justification for stealing comes from the attitude that others exist either to serve us or get exploited in the process. It is a common practice that people take and keep things that do not belong to them and rationalize their behavior. Once at a grocery store, I purchased a packet of disposable razors priced at $7.95. As I was passing through the cash counter, a clerk scanned the razor and the display read $11.95. Since I had carefully noted the price, I told the clerk that there was a mistake and that the price should be $7.95. He double-checked his record and said, "The correct price is $11.95. To resolve the issue, he called the manager who wanted to see where I had picked the packet of razors from. After seeing where the pack of razors was kept and that it had been tagged at $7.95, he verified his records and said that it was mistakenly put on the wrong rack. The correct price was in fact $11.95. As I was checking out, I noticed that he had not charged me for the pack of razors. I asked him, "Sir, there is a mistake in the bill. You have not charged me for the razors." The manager said, "There is no mistake. It is our store policy that if the mistake has originated from the store, we give it complimentary." I said, "It's an honest mistake and it can happen to anyone." I still offered to pay. "Thank you for being so generous, but at least accept the price on the rack, that is $7.95. He again politely refused to accept it. He said, "It is our store policy that if the mistake has originated from the store, we give it complimentary. Please accept it." I thanked him and left. I narrated this incident at the social get-together, and to my utter disappointment and disgust, the first reaction I got from some of the people at the gathering was, "Next time when I go to that store, I will take an item that is sitting on a higher price rack, put it on a lower price rack, and possibly get away by not paying." I have come to the conclusion that to a crook, only a crooked path looks straight. Does this sound familiar? I am sure it does. This is degradation of values. To some people, possession implies ownership. Just because I have it doesn't mean it's mine. Going by the same analogy, keeping extra change given mistakenly by a cashier or not paying for a dish that the waiter forgot to put on the bill seems justified. Forget being embarrassed. The dishonest people, in fact, feel proud to brag about it. A similar instance that comes to my mind is that of a young girl who told her friends that she got a pair of shorts for free because the cashier made a mistake, and due to an oversight, he did not charge for it. She did not feel any obligation to pay. Her thinking was, it was his fault. His mistake was my gain. Let's analyze the repercussions of her behavior. The repercussion didn't bother her. It could have only bothered her if she had a conscience. That alone would have raised many questions. What if she was the cashier at the store? Answer: possibly she would have had to pay for it or could have even lost her job. What if she was the owner of the store? Answer: she would have had to bear the loss. What is it to say that because she got away this time with the shorts, she will not repeat a similar or bigger act of dishonesty elsewhere? Did she know what she put at stake? Can she face herself in the mirror after what she did? Wouldn't she be carrying an excess baggage on her conscience? No matter how we analyze it, stealing and cheating are classified as dishonest. This situation doesn't really call for any analysis. The answer is not complicated. It's blatantly simple. An honest person with integrity would have just gone back and returned the shorts or paid for it. Cost of dishonesty. It's common sense that stealing from any establishment impacts its profits adversely. The cost to repay the stolen goods also increases the selling price, which eventually has to be paid by the consumer. Additionally, there is a cost to prevent thefts, which also eats into the profits. According to a survey conducted by the National Association of Shoplifting Prevention, product theft causes $13 billion in annual losses in the US, translating to approximately $35 million per day. Here are a few examples of stealing, cheating, and dishonesty. Stealing is not only robbing material goods, even leaking of confidential information of an employer to a competitor is stealing. False advertising is another form of stealing. Besides embezzlement, another example of stealing is taking office supplies home without the knowledge of the employer. Doing personal work in company time is another kind of stealing. Wasting time during working hours is stealing. Not paying what is due to others in time is stealing. Just because the culprit is not easily identified for stealing does not absolve him of his responsibility. Allowing children of an impressionable age to watch inappropriate movies robs them of their innocence. That's stealing. Falsifying documents at offices. For example, timesheet of employees coming in and out. Lawyers, doctors, and accountants billing for false hours, etc. is stealing. Taking office documents or stealing data on thumb drives is stealing. A doctor conducting useless tests and surgeries is stealing. Different creative faces of dishonesty. Many times we ignore the most obvious. Dishonesty has many faces. Crooks create some of the most innovative ways to be dishonest, to cheat, and to steal. Once, a factory manufacturing many things, including bags, was facing a theft problem. The management started to inspect the belongings and bags of all the employees, but they found nothing. Yet the thefts continued. The question was, what were the workers stealing? Well, they were stealing the bags. This little scenario might sound hypothetical. The guards were so focused on checking the inside of the bag that they did not even pay attention to the fact that the most obvious thing being stolen was the bag itself. Many times it is assumed that the things that are stolen are hidden. The obvious was overlooked. At the pearly gates. A lawyer died pretty young. At the mere age of 35, he was standing at the pearly gates. He was rather angry and surprised as he had a long way to go on earth. Money was pouring in so fast that he lost count. So he asked God, "I am only 35. How come you called me so fast? This is no age to die." God replied, "We have checked our accounting department, and based on the hourly billing that you have done to your clients, it appears that you have exceeded the age of 100. This might sound a little humorous, but such things are happening in the real world. This lawyer proves the saying right. A crooked lawyer with a briefcase can steal more than 100 robbers with guns. Disclaimer: this is a hypothetical story of a lawyer. Not all lawyers are crooked. Achievers believe strongly in making integrity a way of life.